Crazy Diamond. That was Pink Floyd. Quite an interesting band, actually, if you listen to their music and pay attention to their lyrics. Kind of goes along with everything that we're learning right now. Welcome back to The Pursuit of Living Well. I am absolutely freezing, although I just finished up a yoga practice and now I'm covered in blankets. It's 30 degrees outside. But I figured I'd record a couple lessons so I can get ahead here because I'm starting to get a lot on my plate. And I want you all to have, I want you all to get the most out of this. So we're on to lesson 15. My thoughts are images I have made. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is a function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing, it is image making. It takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. Remember how we talked about spiritual sight and how that occurs without seeing anything outside of ourselves, but of sensing and feeling and having an inner knowing about situations. And the only way to apply that to situations is to apply an exercise like this to things that you see outside of yourselves. We can get the concept between the two, spiritual sight and image making. In practicing the idea for today, repeat it first to yourself and then apply it to whatever you see around you using its name and letting your eyes rest upon it as you say. This box is an image I have made. This candle is an image I have made. This camera is an image I have made. The scarf is an image I have made. This card is an image I have made. I did that a little quickly, though you're supposed to practice the exercise quite slowly, and the whole time you're saying the exercise, keep your eyes on the object randomly with what's around you for about a minute. And preceding the beginning, you just repeat today's lesson to yourself. My thoughts are images that I have made. 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 This candle is an image that I have made. This bell is an image that I have made. Practice it about like that tempo, and you'll get the most out of this exercise. You can practice this 3 times for today. If you're really comfortable with it, and you've been going along with these lessons, you can practice it more throughout your day, maybe at whatever moment you feel is needed. So that's lesson 15 for today, and now we're gonna go through some excerpts from the text. This little section is called The Meaning of the Last Judgment. Since creative ability rests in the mind, everything you create is necessarily a matter of will. It also follows that whatever you alone make is real in your own sight, though not in the mind of God, or though not in the mind of totality, although not in the mind of love. This basic distinction leads directly into the real meaning of the Last Judgment. The Last Judgment is a final healing rather than a meting out of punishment, however much you may think that punishment is deserved. Punishment is a concept totally opposed to right-mindedness, and the aim of the Last Judgment is to restore right-mindedness to you. The Last Judgment might be called a process of right evaluation. It simply means that everyone will finally come to understand what is worthy and what is not. After this, the ability to choose can be directed rationally. Until this distinction is made, however, the vacillations between free and imprisoned will cannot but continue. The first step toward freedom involves a sorting out of the false from the true. So the Last Judgment is obviously about our ego, the way that we judge things, and how we judge things really as right or wrong, good or bad, and what we want to do here is we want to heal the idea that the ego creates of whatever projection, whatever image you have made, and return to the idea of what this image would look like in totality or in the mind of God. It also speaks about punishment, and so we can relate this to forgiveness. But what I'm talking about now is self-forgiveness and self-punishment. A lot of times when we judge, we know that we're doing something that feels wrong. And so we start to conjure up this guilt that settles as energy within our mind, and it stays there until we become aware of it and we start atoning for the way that we're acting. How we relate that to forgiveness is when we hold blame to someone else, and we hold resentment and anger or feelings associated with those blame and resentment ideas. When we take that back into our meditation practice and we return the situation to totality, to God, what we eventually come to conclude about this is it's really yourself that needs to be forgiven by you after the whole situation is seen clearly for what it is. So if you've been wronged and you feel that you've been wronged, the way to look at the situation is one of two ways. You can look at the situation and see that this is something that I've allowed to be, and therefore I can no longer blame this person or the situation to keep happening because I am the one that is allowing this. For whatever reason that you are allowing the situation to be, you're allowing it. And so when you come to that realization, you start to get upset now with yourself, and that those feelings of blame and resentment are now turned inward. And we want to have compassion for ourselves when we realize that it comes back to us and really not the wrongdoer here, because we feel that we weren't smart enough, or we didn't see that coming, or we had low beliefs about ourselves, and so we're just upset that we're allowing things to be. Like, why can't I just change and not allow that anymore? Why am I a victim to this? Victim mentality is very common here. But self-forgiveness. The other way to look at a situation when you feel that you've been wrong is to fall back from it until you can accept it And this sometimes is more applied to situations that happen to you in your life that are part of life and can happen to anyone, but make you feel unfortunate, or that you've come across a loss of some sort, or you are now at a disadvantage of some sort. You judge the situation whatever way that the situation has hurt you. And again, we often succumb to that victim mentality that we're a victim of the universe, we're a victim of God. We want to blame God, we want to blame the universe. And the reality that we live in, the images that we see, are not real in total theory here. And what is real is what we sense on the inside. When we sense love, and when we can open our eyes and see with love, when we sense love and we can feel and heal ourselves with compassion, those things are real. They're eternal, they're everlasting in the world that God created. And it says here that hold on here. It says here at the end that the purpose of time is solely to give you time to achieve this judgment, to achieve this realization. And this goes back to the one idea of separation that occurred from us as creative beings to getting lost into what we have created, developing an ego in what we've created. In all this creation, we've created the ideas of time and space, past, present, and future. In the present, getting lost in our ideas, and then developing a sense of fear, and then a sense of worry about the future. There's time. In the space, it's everything in between. And so you can think about that. What if that is the reason why this reality, why these realities that we live in exist? Must be to learn something, must have a purpose. The purpose of time here, it's saying, is to give you time to come to these realizations. And ultimately, the baseline here is to heal all perceptions from the ego to love outside of you, but more importantly, inside of you. So self-punishment is a big thing that we do, and having compassion for yourself and forgiving yourself is what you want to achieve. And it's difficult to do because when we self-punish ourselves, it's usually based on these terrible beliefs that we have. And we have to heal those too. So it's levels of work here. And this was sort of a deep lesson for today and involved share a theory. If you have one better, feel free to share it. But the pursuit of living well is to help you live better through holistic nutrition. Part of holistic nutrition is mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul. So in how we heal our body with nutritious foods, how do we heal our mind? Well, I've learned through meditation and through self-love and through compassion, but they're not easy principles to learn, and meditation isn't the easiest practice to learn, though they do work. They do work. And the reason why I'm reading these lessons from this course and providing with this theory, these theories that go along with it, is because it's a foundation for inner peace, and I have found more inner peace because of it. Don't hold on to the theories. It's just a discussion. in the bigger picture here, it's a discussion to help us understand why we do the lessons that we're doing. And as we keep continuing, you understand more and more the purpose of each singular lesson, and you feel more at peace because you do. You feel less responsible and more responsible at the same time, less responsible that you did not create yourself. So there's an easy way to forgive, and more responsible because you're more aware of your thoughts, and that your thoughts are shared energy within this universe, and what you put out is what goes out into the universe and is received. So be aware of your thoughts. You can be aware of your energy. Your energy attracts your life situations, but your energy also has a big part playing in how you feel, which is nutrition for the mind. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you for lesson 16.